Jose, the history with you and 50, is it better now? You guys now friends? Like, do you guys talk now, or is it still no relationship?
Nah, homie Wash, we've never been cool.
From day one?
No.
This is a big business you guys are a part of. You guys are two of the heavyweights in the business.
I mean, what is there to talk about?
A lot of things to talk about. History, the beef.
What kind of history? That he couldn't dress? That's all I used to tell him. Yo, you can't dress. You're not really getting no money. You don't own your masters. Eminem saved you. Dr. Dre saved you. All the big names. Rose did it himself.
Welcome back to Buzzbuster. There's a good chance the new album is going to include a few diss tracks aimed at specific people.
Came in through slip and slide. I had to build this myself. And I'm not speaking down on him because he live in a 2-bedroom apartment, but
he lives in a 2-bedroom apartment?
2-bedroom. Catch the alley hoop now. Got him one by Yama, this bitch.
2-bedroom apartment.
Yes, he does. And if he does, bro, what does that say about him? Come on now. Just the alley hoop. Come on now. What does it say about him?
And yes, some names are likely to get called out directly. That's not a small tease either. Coming from an artist who's built his entire brand around confidence and calculated moves, rather than off-the-cuff drama.
And 50 lives in a 2. He just did a big documentary on Diddy that blew up. It was the #1 documentary for like weeks.
Which is exactly why fans latched onto it the second the clip started circulating.
Imagine if I had the chance to slap 50 Cent with this shit right here. Come get it.
Asked whether there might be a Bruce Leroy type moment buried in there, a nod toward 50 Cent's son, Ross laughed it off as a nickname worth turning into an actual song title.
Thank you everybody for all the prayers, but I'm gonna tell you, we on the jet and I'm seeing the fighter jet. I see his nose, it's like Tom Cruise from Top Gun. I seen his nose, I'm seeing him in the cockpit. And I'm like, damn. I see his cheeks and nose going back from the G-force. I'm like, damn. And then, hey man, it happened. You know what I'm saying? I can't say what happened, but it happened. Come on, white boy. But we safe, everybody.
Won't be collaborating anytime soon, Ross added, joking that Drake's own kid might want to go fishing instead. Coming from someone who once called Drake his favorite collaborator, that kind of dismissive one-liner lands differently than it would from somebody with no history between them. It's the sound of a relationship that's fully soured.
What's up? You gonna press us out in our f***ing city, nigga? What's up? Think me to get a back up, nigga. What's up, bro? Come on, what's up? Why do you want me right now? Come on, man. What's up?
Dressed up as a punchline. But when it comes to actually making moves, Ross wanted people to understand something about the business side of what's coming. This will be album number 12. Asked how he's always stayed so confident about the business end of things, his answer was simple. It goes exactly the way he wants it to, because he's already paid before the album even drops. He doesn't know what deals other people are cutting on podcasts, he said. The industry's changed, and as a boss, you set the number up front. That's how business gets done with him. He's been selling records for the last 20 years, and not just for himself, for the whole brand.
Fat ass ain't throwing no blows. Man, Will, they swung on your fat. You ain't done. You stood your fat ass back, man. Your scary ass. Your big fat scary ass stood back. Looking good down from this angle.
He hopes everyone else gets paid before the album comes out too, because once you're actually assembling the album, that's the real work. It's a subtle dig buried in there too. The implication that plenty of his peers are out here negotiating on podcasts after the fact, scrambling for deals, while he's already locked his numbers in before a single track drops. Asked point blank whether things are any better between him and 50 Cent these days, whether they're actually friends now, whether they talk, Ross didn't hesitate.
He raps, you get punched in the face on some TLC shit, and TLC has 3 different meanings here, so pay attention. TLC, like the wrestling event where guys are obviously getting punched and they're fighting, you gonna need a chili ice pack for your left eye. So TLC this time is referring to the iconic R&B group, 2 members from this group whose names are Chili and Left Eye. And what's also crazy, the 3rd meaning of TLC, tender, love, and care. And the backstory behind all of this, Drake is rapping about an event that took place when Rick Ross got pressed after playing Not Like Us, and he just so happened to get punched on the left side of his face.
Nah, they've never been cool, not since day one. pushed on why, given that they're both heavyweights in the same business. Ross said there's plenty of history there, plenty of beef, worth talking about.
Been there. That's it. The security tell me he shouldn't have been there. Yeah. Nothing about what was on that video say Rick Ross should have been here doing this.
It's a small moment, but it tells you this isn't some old grudge that's mellowed with age. As far as Ross is concerned, the temperature hasn't moved an inch in 15 years. After 5 years without a solo album, Rick Ross is finally stepping back into the spotlight in a big way. His 12th studio album, Set in Stone.
You listening to this, homie? Listen to me, my nigga. Shine. I don't wanna see you lose. No real nigga wanna see you lose. That ain't what nigga about. This culture, this game, this rap shit, this ain't what it's about. I don't wanna see you lose. When I was the #1 nigga in the rap game, I show niggas love.
Is officially set to arrive July 17th, 2026 through Maybach Music Group and Gamma, and fans have been counting down since the announcement dropped. 5 years is a real gap in an industry that usually rewards artists for staying constantly visible, which only raises the stakes on whatever this project ends up being. Looking back at how his career started, Ross has pointed out that back in 2006, everybody was bidding for him.
Being a hoe is when they
I
sit
would.
down.
I let them knock the Mario coins out of me.
I would.
And it's good. I speak across the room.
Plenty of people understood the direction he wanted to go, and he made it clear early on that this wasn't going to be some ordinary run. Asked whether he'd put Drake on his own level, Ross was blunt. Of course not, he's a minion. Pushed further on it, Ross said the person asking might be confused, joking that you can't be afraid of a response from a minion. That word choice alone, minion, says a lot about how far the relationship has fallen. This is someone he once called his favorite rapper to collaborate with.
To me,
So love.
Montana done came to me and we done had conversations, nigga. Listen, we ain't on no I'm not on no disrespectful. Montana real. Ricky Rose, you know me. You know I love to be disrespectful. That's what I am. But my nigga, listen, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap, homie. This the first time I said this. Montana with you the long way.
Now reduced to a single dismissive label. The timing behind Set in Stone carries extra weight, since this release also marks the 20th anniversary of Port of Miami, the album that introduced Ross to the world and helped launch one of hip-hop's most recognizable careers. That connection has people wondering whether the new album will carry some of that same hunger and confidence, or show a completely different version of the Miami rap icon. Either way, expectations are high. 5 years is a long time in the music business, and a lot has changed since his last solo project. New artists dominating the charts, streaming continuing to evolve, fans growing more demanding about what actually makes an album stand out.
Beautiful day, me waking up from a nap, I just realized BBL Drizzy called his mommy on me. He shared their text messages between each other. Cupcake Drake, tell your mama you stayed out past your curfew, white.
This is Ross's chance to remind people why his name still carries weight and why his larger-than-life persona still draws attention. 20 years is also just a long time to stay relevant in any genre, let alone one as fast-moving as hip-hop, which makes the anniversary framing feel less like a marketing gimmick and more like an actual milestone worth measuring himself against. What makes this release even more interesting is where Ross stands in his career right now. Unlike a newcomer trying to prove himself, he already has a catalog full of hits, successful collaborations, and business ventures that have built out an empire well beyond music. That mix of nostalgia and fresh expectation has turned this into more than just another release on the calendar.
I want to do Aston Martin music minus Drake vocals. So no Drake vocals.
It feels like a genuine milestone in his story. There's also a built-in tension worth noting here. An artist with nothing left to prove commercially, still choosing to load an album with pointed shots at specific rivals. That's not the move of someone coasting on nostalgia. It's someone clearly still invested in settling old scores in real time. As the excitement keeps building, the other topic that keeps resurfacing is the public tension between Ross and Drake. In an older clip, Ross once called Drake one of his favorite rappers to work with.
Decide to tell the DJ not to play Drake's vocals on Aston Martin music.
Let's enjoy it without him. If they want it, let them sing it, and that's cool too. But yeah, my DJ minus that. Let's go.
Asked about the jewelry that's become part of his whole aesthetic, when someone joked they'd never seen anyone ice quite like him, Ross said he's talked to every jeweler in Miami who deals in fakes, before clarifying that what he's actually wearing is a real AP piece with green emerald stones, and that the whole thing is just him having fun. One skeptic pushed back hard, insisting one specific watch was fake, pointing out that model was only ever produced twice.
And that old ass jet you got, they gave it to you free. That's a 1978. Be safe on that, Drizzy. Be safe on that plane. That old, God, is great. Y'all need to pray for Drake and tell him, park that old ass plane. It's a 1978 cargo jet. People gave it to him free for promo. And I ain't hating, but be safe. If something was to happen to you and I couldn't tell you this, be safe. And anybody getting on it, be safe, man. Wear your seat belts and make sure the oxygen thing's in there, because that shit was just for luggage.
Once in 37 millimeters, once in 41 millimeters, and that he personally knows both real owners, and Ross isn't one of them. It's a strangely specific accusation, the kind that's hard to just laugh off, because it's not vague trolling. It's someone claiming actual insider knowledge of a niche watch market, which is exactly the sort of detail that tends to stick around online longer than a generic insult would.
Glory though, morning glory. What it is, Monday morning? Yeah. What we doing today? How we turning up? What new money we talking about?
Back to that earlier compliment. Ross has said flat out that among all the rappers he respects, Drake is his favorite to work with on a song. But asked again whether he'd put Drake on his level, Ross repeated, of course not, he's a minion. And anyone confused about that needs to look a little closer.
Ross has just always been one of my favorite rappers ever.
That contradiction, favorite collaborator one moment, minion the next, is basically the whole rivalry in miniature. Nothing about this fallout happened cleanly. It's messy, personal, and clearly still raw.
A quick Google search says that your net worth is $150 million. Is that accurate?
The two were once frequent collaborators, delivering plenty of memorable tracks together, but that relationship shifted over time and eventually became one of hip-hop's biggest ongoing storylines, to the point where jabs about publishing splits and unfinished business between them have become their own running joke. Because of that history,
That's all it is.
I am fuming. That's a fake watch. That's not a real watch.
How can you tell?
That watch was only produced twice, one in 37 millimeter, one in 41 millimeter. And I know both owners, and they're not Rick Ross.
every new release from either artist now gets picked apart for possible references or hidden shots. Drake's Iceman only added to the speculation once listeners flagged a song many read as aimed at Ross. Asked again about the album, Ross reiterated that his engineer found it rough listening, adding the Michael Jackson jab once more, and repeating that any future collaboration looks unlikely. At this point,
never seen someone ice rosé, but...
You never seen someone ice rosé? Well, talk to every jeweler in Miami that has fake diamonds.
Really, they do that?
Nobody got that joke.
The two of them trading digs about each other's new music has become almost as anticipated as the music itself, a kind of parallel storyline running alongside whatever either artist actually releases. That tension only intensified after the widely shared moment of Ross boarding a commercial flight. The reaction online was immediate. Social media filled up with debates, memes, and side-by-side comparisons, with fans arguing over whether Drake's lyrics were direct shots or just clever wordplay.
It's an AP that I'm rocking. This is green stones, green emeralds. It's just me having fun.
Asked about only ever flying private, Ross explained he made himself a promise decades ago not to charter a jet until he could afford to buy one outright, and that when the time finally came, it wasn't a splurge, it was an investment. That explanation is consistent with everything else Ross has said about his business philosophy over the years.
Well, I guess. Real talk. I'm just
So who impresses DMX right now? Anybody?
I'm surprised you don't like Ross lyrically, man. Ross be
He's all right, man. He just talk about eating and you know, how much can it eat? How much weed can you smoke? I'm like, all right, you got a Maybach, you got your Aston Martin, okay. Good for you.
The framing that nothing he does is impulsive, that even his flashiest purchases are calculated moves rather than indulgences.
Online, the narrative had already taken hold. It looked like Rick Ross was going broke, and now he was in damage control trying to clean it up. Except in the eyes of a lot of people, too late.
Rick Ross is going broke.
okay? And he's now in damage control trying to clean things up, but it's too late. We've already seen how the boss is really getting down.
They'd already seen how the boss was really getting down. Ross flew commercial that week, and the jokes came fast. Poor guy, people said, and we ain't hiding like Rick Ross in the airport. He was simply heading back to New York, and honestly, it didn't look like hiding at all.
Rick Ross flew commercial this week.
Oh, man. Poor guy.
We ain't hiding like Rick Ross in the airport neither. It's all good. Heading back to New York. Let's go next.
It didn't seem to me like he was hiding because he was taking a commercial flight.
Rick Ross looked so depressed to be flying with y'all junkies.
Uncle Murder, you ain't never killed nothing. But what I want to do is give you and all your kids a free cleaning, free teeth cleaning. I know what 50 going through right now. He may not be in the mood for this, Daphne Joy.
That put a wet towel over his head.
For the ones want to know where my jet at, I obviously didn't get the memo. It's being updated with Starlink. And I chose to fly commercial to Colombia to go party with Trick Daddy. When Ricky Rose takes flights, it's 6 digits. I'm going to get some money.
Since he was standing in plain view the whole time. Ross also caught it from Uncle Murda, who joked he looked depressed flying with regular travelers. Ross fired back that Murda's never killed anybody and offered him and his kids a free teeth cleaning instead. People noted that even 50 Cent might not be in the mood for jokes given everything else going on around him. As for the jet itself, Ross addressed it directly.
Damn, white boy, Kendrick done bust you in the head before y'all even finish the publishing splits.
For anyone wondering where it was, it's simply getting updated with Starlink, and he chose to fly commercial to Colombia specifically to go party with Trick Daddy.
Is it common knowledge that you mow your own lawn?
I think everybody in Fayetteville, they kind of know when the weather's right and they see that big tractor out there.
You got the tractor?
You're mowing your lawn.
Like a John Deere or something like that?
One time for John Deere.
Look at it. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why you out there cutting your own grass?
Got the one with the radio, the AC in it. I tinted the windows.
How many acres you mowing?
Man, I'm not even sure now. I believe close to 400. When I go out and mow the lawn, I had a homies with me too.
You're trying to save money, nigga? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh? The AC broken in the...
So we got a bunch of other smaller tractors. So when they see the big one out, they know that's the boss.
Dude, that's the friendship I aspire to have.
No, that's
all
a
your
friendship.
homies on the weekend, like, yo, what y'all?
Yeah, let's cut the grass. No, that's some of the coolest shit ever.
Joking that once he's back on 6-figure flights, he'll be celebrating with a bottle of Moscato. It's worth noting how quickly one photo turned into an entire subplot, complete with its own cast of characters weighing in. Murda, 50, random commenters, all feeding off a single airport sighting.
Some people laughed the jokes off, others defended Ross, pointing out that flying commercial is completely normal regardless of anyone's wealth or status. As often happens in rap, one moment quickly snowballed into a much bigger conversation, keeping both artists in the spotlight. Whether Ross addresses any of it directly on Set in Stone is one of the biggest open questions surrounding the album.
Make all day, at that point, you had to be a top football player in the country.
Yeah. So who's all recruiting you?
Everybody.
His whole career has been built on confidence, luxury, and staying composed under pressure. So fans are curious whether he'll respond head-on, drop something more subtle, or simply let strong music speak for itself. That uncertainty is part of what's fueling so much of the pre-release buzz. Nobody actually knows which version of Ross is going to show up on this record, the one addressing the noise directly or the one rising above it entirely. Asked how he reached 9 figures, Ross's answer, as always, was non-stop hustle.
9 figures, how'd you get there?
It's called hustling non-stop. I have 25 ventures and partnerships. Just got back from Dubai. I'm going to Canada Friday. Tonight we're in the club out here in the strip club. We performing. Itself will cover all my expenses for the year. It's just that consistent non-stop balance.
25 different ventures and partnerships just back from Dubai, off to Canada the next night, performing in a strip club alone enough to cover a year's expenses. It's the same consistent non-stop balance every time. Asked about a quick Google search putting his net worth at $150 million, Ross treated the number like an obvious given rather than something worth confirming or denying outright.
Back up, nigga, what? What's up, bro? Come on, what's up? Why do you want me right now? Come on, nigga. What's up?
That kind of non-answer has become something of a signature move for him, never quite confirming specifics, but never really denying the scale either, letting the assumption of wealth do the talking. Hip-hop has always thrived on competition, lyrical exchange, and rivalry. And plenty of listeners believe the best response is usually a great album rather than a headline. At the same time, everyone knows Ross has never been shy about speaking his mind.
You're only flying private, huh?
I told myself I would not charter a jet until I was ready to buy it. But I told myself, and I waited those 20 plus years.
Right.
And when it was time for me, it was an investment.
So every lyric on Set in Stone is likely to get combed over for possible connections to everything that's happened recently. That level of scrutiny says a lot about how much interest surrounds this release. Not just the new music itself, but where Ross stands in today's rap landscape.
Good question. Did you know Rick while he was working in law enforcement?
He was a correction officer.
So we're clear he was a correctional officer.
Yes, he was.
How he plans to write his next chapter, and whether this long-awaited album shifts attention back to the music instead of the noise around it. All of that naturally brings another long-running rivalry back into focus, the feud between Rick Ross and 50 Cent, stretching back roughly 15 years and producing more headlines than almost any other rap beef of its era.
On the internet, Rick Ross is currently going viral because he was caught hiding while waiting for a commercial flight. And this is so wild framing because you could never catch me hiding while waiting for a commercial flight. You just saw me at the airport.
In one especially pointed exchange, 50 accused Ross of being infatuated with his lifestyle, framing the whole thing as free promotion for Ross's upcoming release, attention that, in 50's words, disappears the moment the hype dies down. Unlike his own staying power, he made it clear nobody controls him and that messing with Ross's life is something he does purely because he enjoys it. Nothing new, just business as usual for him.
Recently accused you of working as a prison guard at one point, Rick. Is there any truth to that?
No, that's not true. But that's disappointing to hear that he said that. He said that?
That framing is classic 50, presenting the feud not as personal animosity, but as a hobby he happens to be exceptionally good at. Over the years, the two have traded diss records, interviews, and social media posts, each side finding a reason to respond whenever the other made news.
Slab, I'm handling some motherfucking business, homie. I hope you calling about money. What you calling about then if it ain't about no money? You know I only like to talk about money, but since I love you, what else you talking about other than money?
Fans have watched this back and forth stretch across multiple eras of both careers, making it one of rap's longest-running rivalries. At one point, 50 brought up the mother of one of Ross's children, referencing her work as a sex worker. In another exchange, someone asked 50 directly whether he knew Ross back when he was in law enforcement, confirming, yes, that Ross had worked as a correctional officer. Asked more recently about that chapter himself, Ross confirmed it.
Oh, wait, too, you worked, I don't know if you want to talk about it all, because were you a correctional officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back, when was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old?
Yeah. You know, I didn't really get to make it to the prison. Because you got to go through training and all that, and I didn't last long. I may have lasted 4 months.
Right.
Before they said,
Yeah.
I was a little tardy.
Yes, he was a correctional officer, starting around age 20, though he says he never actually made it through the full process, since training didn't stick, and he was let go for being chronically late after roughly 4 months. Asked directly if he has any respect left for how Ross has handled his career, 50's answer was flat: none. He's never wanted to work with him. It's a small but telling contrast. Ross softening his account of that old job over time, while 50 has never once softened his position on Ross personally.
One of your favorite songs with Drake?
Stay Scheming, I'm gonna say Stay Scheming.
Legendary song. Yeah, I see it.
Drake came out. He came out to us. He came out in the streets. He came to us when we put that record together. It was one of those vibes.
Even during quieter stretches, a new interview, post, or public comment tends to reignite the whole thing, since both men are known for speaking confidently and defending their reputations. A lot of people see this less as a beef that's fizzled out and more as an ongoing expression of hip-hop's competitive nature. Asked again whether things have improved, Ross repeated, "Nah, homie, wash. They've never been cool, not since day one." Pressed on what the actual issue was, Ross brought up 50's fashion sense as a running joke, pointing out that 50 can't dress, doesn't really have his own money, and doesn't own his masters, crediting Eminem and Dr. Dre with essentially rescuing his career. Ross, by contrast, says he built his own path, coming up through slip and slide records with nobody handing him anything. He wasn't speaking down on 50, he clarified, just noting that 50 reportedly lives in a 2-bedroom apartment, which, depending who you ask, says something on its own. Asked what it says about someone dragging up an old relationship weeks later involving a woman Ross isn't even with anymore, Ross shrugged it off, said nothing else really works for 50 outside of bringing him up, that whenever things get bad for 50, his name comes up and it gets picked up across every hip-hop blog like clockwork. He pointed out Ross's own property as an example, a mansion that reportedly costs more than the nightclubs 50 frequents, and needled him about mowing his own lawn, joking that a genuinely rich person wouldn't be out there doing yard work themselves, unless he was just trying to save money. Ross has kept coming back to that same point. He came in through slip and slide, built it himself, and isn't speaking down on 50 for living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Have you seen anybody confront Rick Ross about you?
Not in person, no. Anytime I'm around, he disappears.
Like, hey, why are you running around with this dude's name when this dude's out of jail now?
Well, you know, these guys, like we talked about, when you got some money, they don't care if you beat making them lick tampons, you know, everybody.
Pushed on what that detail actually says about somebody, Ross let the question hang. He also brought up 50's recent Diddy documentary, which hit #1 and stayed there for weeks, pointing out that as far as he's concerned, 50 doesn't actually own any of that either. He gets paid a flat fee and his name gets attached, and that's the extent of it. It's a pattern worth noticing across this whole feud. Every time one side scores a visible win, whether it's a hit documentary or a chart-topping album, the other side finds a way to reframe it as somehow hollow underneath. Every time Ross gets ready to release something major, fans naturally wonder if there will be lyrical nods to that history, subtle or otherwise. Ross has suggested that certain artists only generate real energy for themselves by bringing up 50 Cent by name.
If I had to compare the two, I'd say Rick Ross was more like Biggie, Jeezy was more like Pac.
Rick Ross looks more like Biggie.
Rick Ross got lyrics though.
Well, I guess. Real talk. I'm just not
So who
impressed.
impresses DMX right now? Anybody?
I'm surprised you don't like Ross lyrically, man. Ross be
He's
spitting.
alright, man. He just talk about eating and you know, how much can it eat? How much weed can you smoke? Huh? Like, alright, you got a Maybach, you got the Aston Martin. Okay, good for you.
Pointing out that 50 has some genuinely massive records when he had top-tier producers and artists surrounding him, and that without that same infrastructure now, his output has slowed. According to Ross, an entire career built around one ongoing rivalry doesn't come as a surprise when that same rivalry gets leaned on again to stay relevant. His response essentially, good luck, because right now, one of them is trying to sell a CD, and the other one isn't. As Set in Stone gets closer, people are again asking whether Ross will keep the focus purely on the music or acknowledge any of the rivalries that have followed him for years. At this point, both Ross and 50 Cent have built successful businesses well outside of music, expanded their brands, and stayed influential in entertainment more broadly, which puts the whole rivalry in a different light than it had years ago. Two men in their late 40s and 50s, both multi-millionaires several times over, with businesses that have nothing to do with each other. Still circling back to the same 15-year-old argument says something about how personal this actually is beneath all the business talk. Even so, their history keeps drawing interest, since it's become part of hip-hop culture at this point.
I got a lot of respect for a lot of rappers, but I got one guy. He's my favorite person to rap on any song. His name is Rick Ross. We were in the...
I gotta take this to the streets. One question for the coach.
What up?
Are we gonna get a Drake Rick Ross album?
We had that conversation.
Okay.
And it's most definitely under serious consideration.
Yes.
Real talk. We back, you dig?
Hold on, how long has this been in the works, man?
I'm gonna be honest, this just was a quick vibe, maybe 2.5 months, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 2.5 months.
Do you guys care about album sales anymore?
Of course. This point? As a businessman, you do. That's like niggas selling Jordans.
With younger listeners discovering the whole saga through old songs, old interviews, and ongoing online discussion. While there's plenty of speculation, nothing has confirmed that Set in Stone will include any direct response to 50 Cent, and plenty of listeners think the album's biggest statement might simply be delivering strong music after a 5-year gap. If Ross can remind people why his style has held up for 2 decades, the conversation could shift away from old disputes and back toward the music itself, even while fans keep combing every lyric and every interview for clues. In one older exchange, 50 suggested Ross secretly admires his style, his money, and would drop everything to work with him if he could, insisting he knows it's true.
The history between these two runs a lot deeper than a handful of exchanged comments, which is exactly why people keep bringing it up years later. Their feud became one of the defining rivalries of its era, with both men using music, interviews, and social media to answer each other. One of the most talked about moments came when 50 released Officer Ricky, a diss track mocking Ross's past as a correctional officer before his rap career began. That song became a major topic and fueled months of debate about image, authenticity, and competition in the industry.
Yo, Rose, what is your true relationship with Drake?
Nah, the love is genuine, and it's been like that for close to a decade now, since he came in the game. You know what I'm saying? When Drake was just getting on the team, being in Miami, needed a record, I moved for him the same way I moved.
Ross didn't stay quiet, answering with his own music and public comments as the rivalry kept growing. Over time, the exchanges became less about any single disagreement and more about two established stars simply refusing to back down. Their names kept appearing together in headlines, and even without a new song in the mix, interviews or online posts regularly dragged the feud back into the spotlight. That long history has turned every major Ross release into an opportunity for fans to wonder whether another chapter might get added to one of rap's most recognizable rivalries.
The feud has also spilled beyond music at different points, generating stories fans still bring up today. Interviews, social media exchanges, business-related jabs that kept things alive long after the earliest moments. There were stretches where 50 joked about Ross online, and Ross answered with his own confident responses instead of ignoring it. As the years passed, both men focused heavily on growing their business empires while still succeeding in entertainment. But that never stopped fans from revisiting the history whenever either one dropped something new. Now, with Set in Stone approaching, the same question keeps coming back around.
To the Drake stands, can only imagine what that feels like. Well, I really couldn't, but damn, niggas say 3 albums are trash albums, 2 years too late. Hey man, it was fun while it lasted. You're washed. Where's Iceman? There's Iceman. The Throat Goats.
Will Ross reference any of those past battles or let the music speak for itself? Nothing has confirmed direct references to 50 Cent on the album, but that hasn't slowed fans down from scrutinizing every preview and every lyric for possible clues. After nearly 15 years, this rivalry has become part of hip-hop history, and its legacy adds another layer of curiosity as Ross prepares to release one of his most anticipated albums yet.
Ross added even more fuel to the anticipation around Set in Stone during an appearance on Patrick Bet-David's podcast, where the conversation naturally turned toward the album and the competitive side of hip-hop. During that discussion, Ross suggested listeners should expect a few records aimed at other rappers, instantly sparking fresh speculation online. Those comments spread fast, with fans immediately trying to figure out who the targets might be. The conversation didn't take long to land on the same two names that have followed Ross for years, 50 Cent and Drake. Given the public history with both of them, plenty of people started wondering whether Set in Stone might include direct responses, subtle lyrical nods, or simply confident bars open to interpretation. As with most major rap releases, anticipation has grown because fans enjoy dissecting every line, hunting for hidden meaning, and debating whether certain bars are aimed at specific people or are just part of the genre's usual competitive spirit. That's only added another layer of mystery before the album has even dropped.
The Drake and 50 Cent talk reminded people that both rivalries have followed Ross through different stages of his career, making them impossible to fully separate from any new release. On the Drake side, recent headlines and fan theories about Iceman have already reignited conversation about whether either artist keeps the lyrical back and forth going. Asked once more about the album, Ross repeated that his engineer found it rough listening, brought up the Michael Jackson jab again, and reiterated that collaboration isn't happening anytime soon.
Not putting Drake at your level.
No, see, you might be, I could see it in your eyes, you might be confused. If Drake was what he thought, he would have been able to clear all this shit up, address it, and been moved on. I listened to some of it. My engineer it was horrendous. They lost an hour of their life for this shit.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
Are they recovering?
Yeah, trauma.
It's tough.
Meanwhile, Ross and 50 Cent have spent years trading public remarks and musical responses. building one of hip-hop's longest-running rivalries. Even with all that history, nobody actually knows what Set in Stone contains until it officially drops. Fans will be listening closely, sorting confirmed lyrics from online theories and deciding for themselves what each line really means. And that uncertainty is exactly what's keeping people talking, with every interview, preview, and new comment raising the anticipation another notch as July 17th approaches.
During that same Patrick Bet-David conversation, the discussion wasn't limited to music and rivalries. It also turned to Ross's wealth and the business empire he's built over the years. Ross spoke about ownership, investing, and building income beyond rap, themes that have become a core part of his public image. From his record label to his various business ventures, he's consistently presented himself as someone focused on long-term success rather than album sales alone. That business mindset has shaped his reputation just as much as his music has, and it's part of why a lot of fans see Set in Stone as more than just another album. They see it as the latest chapter from someone who's balanced music and entrepreneurship for years. The conversation also circled back to competition in hip-hop generally, with Ross reiterating that he's never shied away from discussing the sport-like nature of rap and the confidence that comes with it. It's worth noting how consistently Ross returns to this framing whenever he's given the chance. Every conversation eventually loops back to ownership, business, and the idea that the real flex isn't the jewelry or the jet, it's the paper trail behind it. As that interview made the rounds online, fans quickly connected it to the ongoing Drake and 50 Cent conversations, sparking a wave of theories about what Set in Stone might actually include. Some listeners think the album could feature lyrics addressing one or both of them. Others think Ross may simply stay focused on his own story and let the music do the talking. As of now, there's no official confirmation that Drake or 50 Cent are specifically named in any diss tracks, and no verified track list has surfaced to settle it either way. That hasn't stopped fans from analyzing every preview, interview, and teaser for possible clues. And with the release date approaching, the speculation keeps climbing, with every new discussion pushing expectations higher still. Whether those theories end up accurate or not, one thing's already clear. Set in Stone has become one of the most closely watched hip-hop releases of the year.
As July 17th gets closer, the anticipation keeps building. Between marking 20 years since Port of Miami, returning with his first solo album in 5 years, and carrying the weight of one of the most successful careers in modern hip-hop, Ross has plenty of reasons this release feels different. Fans are eager to hear the production, the storytelling, the confidence, and whatever surprises are waiting once the full album finally lands. Add in the ongoing conversations about his past rivalries, his business success, and the expectations that come with being a rap veteran, and it's easy to see why so many people already have this one circled on their calendar. Still, until the music actually drops, the biggest questions remain open, leaving listeners to separate confirmed information from fan theory and just enjoy the build-up to release day. No matter what happens when Set in Stone arrives, one thing's certain: everyone will be listening, and the hip-hop world will have plenty to say about it. Whether the album delivers classic Rick Ross energy, takes things in a new direction, or simply reminds people why he's remained a respected name for 2 decades, the conversation is only getting started. We'd love to hear what you think. Are you expecting Set in Stone to be one of Rick Ross's best albums? And which track are you most excited to hear? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other hip-hop fans so they don't miss the latest news and discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.